This is Jimmy.
I'm Fish.
I'm Jason.
And this is Thinking Outside the Pod. Hello and welcome to episode 110 of Thinking Outside the Pod.
110. There's two ones in there.
There's 2 1s in there and a 0. And Fish is back.
Yes.
You were not here last week.
I was up in Austin playing League of Legends with a friend or
video
two.
Games.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Been a while since I played a game with people who had no idea what the hell they were doing. So, because you have your normal strategies, and you're like, well, my normal strategy doesn't work against chaotic nature. So then that's when you're just like, all right, just fuck it. I'll just do whatever the hell I want to and have fun with it.
Yeah.
And it was fun because it'd been a while since I'd played that game where it's just like, I don't really have a goal in mind. It's just kind of just
fun.
run around and just goof off. And
Yeah.
it was way more entertaining than following the rules. Be like, oh, at this specific time you got to do this. At this specific time you got to do this.
Yeah. Because your opponents are just doing whatever.
You're just like, it keeps
yeah.
you on your toes because you're just like, all right, well, nobody's warding anywhere. We have no idea what's coming. So you have to be ready for anything at any moment. You're just like, all right, building stupid stuff on champions you're not supposed to, which you're like, it works for the moment, I suppose.
Yeah. And it's good to just play around sometimes.
That's how I play chess usually. Never really go in with a strategy. Just throw everything I got and hopefully it works.
And that's why you lose all the time.
Actually.
Nah, he beat me once. We only played once, but so, or I could just say I let him win. I don't know. But I hear that's what a lot of chess, like a lot of good chess players do. They go on like the computer chess and play like amateurs just for that reason, it keeps your skills up. Yeah.
Yeah, because you can't guess. I mean, it's the it's fun part because then it's like because in games like that where strategy is not as important as that's when mechanics, because you're like whoever is the most mechanically sound is going to just destroy everybody else because they're if you know how to run around circles around everybody else, they can't do that. It doesn't matter if it's chaotic; they can't.
Yeah,
they can't fight back.
Yeah, you've accounted for everything that possibly can be done, so anything they can do is obvious, essentially.
I mean, and it's interesting because you learn new tactics and you learn new stuff. You're like, well, does this work? You're like, oh yeah, okay, this tactic works.
It's like risk free, like so you can try some risky builds on stuff.
Well, yeah, because nobody cares. Nobody's gonna yell at you because nobody knows what the hell they're doing anyway. So it's like, all right, you can build whatever the hell you want. And everybody's like, that looks good to me.
And you can surprise yourself. You're like, oh, I never thought of using that item combination or whatever. Yeah. I know of League of Legends. I've never played it, but I've seen it being played from friends. But
so when I have like 29 kills as a freaking support, I'm like, haha, that's the most fun I've had in a while.
You are no longer support.
Yeah, I'm not support. I'm the carry, bitches.
But yeah, so you're back. It was just April Fool's. It was April Fool's on Monday, right? Or when was it? No, not Monday.
The first, it was last Friday.
Last Friday. So a bunch of things happened. I know Google got into some hot water with their April Fool's thing. They're usually pretty funny with theirs, but this time it got like people fired. Did you hear the Google?
I didn't hear people get fired.
I've heard about it, but I don't know exactly what happened.
They put in a mic drop feature on Gmail. So if you send an email and you can either send it regularly or you can send it with a mic drop. And what the mic drop does, it puts in an animated minion GIF on there of him dropping the mic, and people were using it, maybe not knowing what it was in like business situations. And at least if the news stories are to be true,
you would think that they'd be smart enough to go, this weird news send thing. It says mic drop. I probably shouldn't send it that way.
Yeah, or like there was probably some thing showing like what it actually does or something, but they're saying there were also some glitches, so sometimes it would send that even if you didn't want it. So it was a combination of that, but usually like the Google ones are pretty funny. Like I remember there was like they were introducing like Google, like some type of Google Mail thing, but it sent it through the toilets or something like that, like Google Tubes or something like that. I forgot what it was called. But yeah, some funny ones like that. Do you know of any this year that kind of piqued your interest? I got a whole list of some of the funnier ones. Like they were doing Google had the Google cardboard plastic.
Yeah.
where it's a VR headset that was.
It was just a clear plastic case.
Yeah. So and it showed like a video of people like running through the wild, or running through like a field or something. Be like, oh man, it's so lifelike. Like the resolution is so good.
Well, I remember for video game wise, like some fun ones was Blizzard. They did theirs. They were like Hearthstone, the MMO. Which, if you don't know Hearthstone, it's basically World of Warcraft in a card game.
Yeah.
And so that was the joke. I mean, it was pretty silly. You're just like, oh man, there's this new MMO feature, featuring all this cool stuff, and you're like, it's just old pictures of World of Warcraft. They did that. I can't remember who develops Dark Souls, but they did this really cool trailer for Dark Souls 3 on VHS and stuff like that. It was old school and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it was really cool. I mean, it was definitely, you looked at it and you're like, yeah, that looks like that was definitely from, back like the 80s and stuff like that. It looked really cool.
It's always funny when you see like the new games and people like Photoshop them into like Atari artwork.
Yeah.
And it's crazy.
Well, I mean, it was still in-game footage and stuff like that, but they put filters over it to make it look like it was VHS and stuff like that. I mean, it was really cool.
Yeah.
It was a well done little video.
I know Esurance did election insurance just in case you wanted to leave the country after the elections.
Go to Canada.
Yeah, like if Donald Trump is elected. Some companies
if they actually sold that, though, I bet actually a lot of people would buy it.
Do you really think that that's going to happen? Do you think there's going to be a lot of people that move if Trump or Hillary?
I don't think a lot of them will go to Canada. I mean, a majority of them will go to Canada, but not all of them will go to Canada.
I think I don't think Trump being president, or I think it's going to be bad. I think it's
and I think
Civil War #2 maybe. Who knows?
And I think it's people mostly in our age group that are talking about leaving.
I think a lot of it is just like talk.
Who knows?
Maybe some of them, maybe some staunch people, but I think a lot of it's just talk. I think a lot of people overestimate the powers of president, and also Congress. There's checks and balances, so I mean, it's not like putting Trump in the White House means he can do whatever he said.
Well, it's a principle of the matter.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it will be as bad, and if it is, it's 4 years. We can get through that.
But, what are you talking about? 4 years? That's a long time to destroy ourselves.
Yeah, but like I said, it's
constant decay. You're like, that sounds wonderful. Yeah, I totally want to stay here as the country just implodes on itself and builds walls around it and shit.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't think it would be as bad as people say. I don't want him as president.
See, my thing is, I'm just kind of curious when he's going to stop just dicking around and actually get serious.
There's
like, at what point are you actually going to say what the hell you want to do? Right? It's like I had no idea what the hell you actually, other than build a wall.
Mm-hmm. I know he's been in some hot water about making like abortions illegal and punishing.
Well, no, what things. It was they asked him if abortions were to become illegal, would you punish? Would you want the women punished?
And he said yes. Which, I mean, with the context of that question, it's kind of like, of course, it's illegal. Of course, there should be punishment for illegal things, but
I think
he should have said, I don't know. I don't know his position. I assume his position is anti-abortion. I don't know. He's Republican. Isn't that kind of Republican's deal? I don't know. It's kind of asking the wrong.
So I don't think
person
I don't think it should be illegal or illegal. I think it should be on a case by case basis and stuff. Because I mean, if the child's not wanted, it's like, well, it's like, sorry, I don't want to pay.
Mm-hmm.
It starts to go on to other taxpayers. Like, sorry, I don't want to pay for some kid that nobody wants.
Yeah,
I mean, it sounds horrible. I mean, that's a really bad thing to say, but it's
Well, there's situations you can't account for, and it's really tough. That we probably shouldn't go.
We shouldn't.
We're a comedy nerd podcast. But yeah, there was a lot of. Speaking of April Fools, there was like things that people were like posting, like Donald Trump like holding up a sign with like April Fools, like this whole
the whole presidency was a prank.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be funny.
You'd be like, all right, now.
But
okay.
It didn't happen. That's all jokes. But yeah. So I don't know. I think a lot of it is talk. I don't know. I'm not really following the election other than just on the big major things that come up through the news. But I don't know. I don't want him as president just because he's kind of
an ass.
Yeah, jerk guy. I don't know. Arrogant.
Like, I'm a nice man. Yet back people suck.
but yeah,
stuff like that. I mean, you're just like, come on. You're like, you're not a nice person.
I've said this before on here, but I'm happy that a non-politician person is doing so well, but I'm sad that it's Trump.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's like that kind of sucks. It just seems like our presidential elections, like for a I guess government official to do it, they just have to be like ape shit insane to get anywhere. It's like,
to get noticed and have support by anybody. Yeah, unfortunately, maybe
he doesn't have any trouble getting noticed.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's.
Well, I mean, it more or less proves that our whole election system is just a popularity contest. I mean, it's like screw what he actually believes in. It's like, he's saying
who can
mean and nasty
yell
things.
yell the loudest and shock the most people. It's all high school stuff. It's prom king and queen.
Well, it's like Family Guy. They pretty much hit on it. Like heck, it was one of the an early episode, I think it was, or something like that. I mean, it was after a couple of seasons or whatever. But when Lois was running for mayor of the town, and she was just like 9, 11, everybody's going nuts. You're like, yes. They're like, exactly. I mean, stuff like that. I mean, that's essentially what's going on.
I know
right now.
in elementary school, I ran for student council treasurer, and we had to go up in front of the the auditorium and like make a speech, and I wrote like a sentence or two, and other people were like saying a lot of stuff, and I was like, oh crap, I don't know what to say. And so I was like, and I think we should have soda machines in the cafeteria.
Yeah, the classic.
Yeah, just like overpromise. And then I didn't go to any of the meetings. That never happened. Of course, I had no power to put soda machines in the cafeteria.
Yep.
But I never went. There was some fiesta parade thing that the student council.
Why'd you even run if you weren't going to go?
I don't know. I just felt like it would be a thing to do.
But you didn't go, so it wasn't a thing to do.
I thought it was going to be a thing to do, but then I was just like, I don't want to do this. And
you stop the money flow, man. You're the treasurer.
I don't want to. I think I went to like the first meeting, and then like I said, there was a fiesta parade thing that the student council. I don't know what it's called. Like the head people went to, and I got to meet like the fiesta guy. I don't know what his name. El Rey Feo, like the fiesta. In San Antonio, fiesta is a big thing. Big excuse to party.
And drink alcohol.
Yeah, in elementary school.
But they keep telling you not to drink and drive, yet they're like, here's more alcohol.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's events all over town, so drive. But yeah, so I guess I was kind of like the Trump of that. So maybe if he gets elected, he'll just, and a lot of people are saying it's just he doesn't care about being president. He just wants to win. It's just his ego and stuff. I don't know. Maybe. I don't think it'll be as bad. I don't think there will be some people that move, but I think there's probably people that move no matter what president is, I guess.
I mean, you look at all the other candidates and you're like, well, we're screwed pretty much no matter what. But it's like, okay, we just got to minimize how much we're screwed.
Yeah, I mean, Sanders, I didn't want to really get political, but Sanders, I like him. I don't really know much about him. I know people are saying he's like socialist and stuff, which I'm fine with socialism. Depends on the extent of it, but
communism light.
some form of government in society is good. That's my thinking. I don't know. Free stuff, why not? Taxes, who cares? I just get stuff. But okay, other April Fool's stuff. Yeah.
I'll find attention to that.
There was a company that said they invented TV in an aerosol can, so you can like spray the like mask off where you want your TV and spray it on, which is a thing you hear about like in like any of those like future tech documentaries and stuff like that. Like that's going to be a thing, or like rollable TV screens.
I'm still waiting on that because that was actually a thing. I mean, the rollable TVs actually is a legitimate thing.
Yeah, there's just videos of people companies doing like.
And the funny thing is that's not a recent thing. That's been around for like 10, 15 years, those rollable TV, idea.
I mean LED is, or what is it? Yeah, LED. I mean, the actual screen part of it is really thin. Yeah. It's just getting all the rest of it to work correctly is the issue, but they're solving it. I mean, it's getting closer and closer.
If you can get a material that's both LED and can have electrical signal that can, it can transfer current, yeah, why not? Mm-hmm. You just have a little battery on the side or something like that. So, I mean, you'll have, one flat screen and then like a little thing on the side for a battery or something.
Or some kind of
a plug
converter or something like that. But yeah, so that's the thing. But the video was showing like an actual like hairspray looking aerosol can and people spraying it on the thing.
It kind of reminds me of the whole Futurama thing where it's like the outfit in the can. Or
Yeah.
They just spray clothes on themselves using the aerosol.
What was that other cartoon where it's like spray on shoes? Do you guys remember that?
Probably some Looney Tunes thing.
It was like spray on shoes, but it was this like black sparkle stuff, and you couldn't get it off. I can't remember the show.
I don't remember.
Yeah, just wait for the day when you can just like grab like a flat thing off your table and just throw it up on your wall.
Well, I mean, I
and
remember the
it'll
old
stick.
Acme black hole in a can or whatever, that kind of stuff. I mean, they have
Is that all this like Who Framed Roger Rabbit and stuff coming to life?
Yeah, that was the one where they used that. Let's see, anything else kind of jumping out at me? I know there were like some like dating app stuff where like Nissan made a dating app like based on your car and stuff like that.
Date people who have the same car as you.
And there's a bunch of stuff. I'm looking on Washington Post. They have like a list of like 122 things. Hulu, also did a dating site.
Oh, I think Netflix did a John Stamos thing.
That's the other. Yeah, all their categories were like action movies that John Stamos should have been in, or like movies that John Stamos recommends for you and stuff like that. And they did like a video where John Stamos. I mean, they passed it off as real, but of course it looked fake. John Stamos in like a Netflix lobby, like throwing like a tantrum. Like, I worked so hard on my brand, and you think it's a joke, and so that was pretty funny. But yeah, all the categories are like that, like movies that John Stamos laughs at for like comedies and stuff like that. So, pretty good April Fool's Day. Kind of, it's always funny to see like the days after, kind of seeing like the backlash or kind of the stuff that, or like see like what actually things got picked up in the news, like actual news that they thought is real, which is kind of bad on their part because like you never believe anything on April 1st. It's all most likely a joke if there's anything unbelievable.
Well, considering how many bad reviews Batman vs Superman is getting, you wonder if it's all like an April Fool's prank.
I don't know.
Like Rotten Tomatoes, like just
Batman
kidding.
vs Superman, right? No. We saw it.
I've heard very mixed reviews. I've heard a lot of people are like, I like some things about it, and then I hear a lot of people who are like, it was shit.
A lot of I enjoyed it. A lot of people were saying it's slow because it's like almost 3 hours long. And
is it really that long?
It's like 2:40.
Yeah, something like that.
And then there's a director's cut that's like over 3 hours, or just that 3 hours.
Yeah, like the director's cut is like 3 hours and rated R.
Rated R. So, yeah, I didn't think it was bad. I never read any of the comics, so I was okay with some of their origin changes and stuff like that.
No, it's not nearly as bad as what it's been made out to be.
No, and there's just some weird plot choices, I thought. But
it's just that if you go into it expecting to watch some Marvel production, then you're going to be severely disappointed.
Yeah,
it's not light.
There's no
funny,
jokes, no fun. Like that's a lot of the things.
It's a pretty dark movie.
People are spoiled with the Marvel fun, quippy, witty dialogue stuff, and this was.
Well, maybe you look at the more recent Batman movies, and I mean
they're more serious. DC has stated that they want to be the more serious of the two, and this is just what they get. And it's still making good money at the box office. It's still considered a box office hit, so they're happy. These bad reviews aren't going to stop it.
No, you're not going to stop that train.
Yeah.
When Justice League comes out, then I may be interested. But until then, I'm just kind of like, maybe wait till it comes out on DVD or whatever.
And that's another thing some of the reviewers were saying. It's like, this is just a stepping stone movie to get to the Justice League, and people are okay with it.
Which, there's plenty of scenes that definitely support that argument.
Yeah.
They just rub it in your face and be like, hey, look at these people.
Yeah.
These people exist.
Yeah, they hint at a lot of stuff. And they hint at a much bigger story and stuff like that with like.
They're not even hints. They're just like, hey,
yeah,
this is happening.
blatant things. But I enjoyed it, and I mean I Marvel. I think I like Marvel movies better than more serious stuff. But serious stuff has its place.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else real quick about that?
It's like did you ever see The Watchmen?
Yeah.
If you like The Watchmen, then you'd like Batman.
It's been a while.
It's that same kind of tone, kind of more serious and violent, and visually it's amazing. It's really good. I liked Batman. People were
Ben
worried about
Affleck as Batman
Ben Affleck.
was very well done.
Yeah, a lot of people were saying like they expected that to be really bad, but he actually is one of the better things about the movie. So it's what you get.
And
with
Jesse
these days.
Eisenberg is just a little. He's kind of weird.
Yeah,
he's definitely not your father's Lex Luthor.
No, I mean that's what I think they were going for.
yeah,
From Days of Future Past.
And it seems he's going to get more serious in the future. It seems that way. He seems more that way by the end of the movie. But yeah, so that's a thing that happened, and I'm okay with it. I guess Wonder Woman is next. Is the next movie, or what's the next
Well, they
DC?
released set photos from Wonder Woman.
I don't know what the next DC movie is. Oh, Suicide Squad, of course.
Yeah, Suicide Squad on
And that's going to have Batman in it.
August
so
2nd.
they'll have some more stuff about the Joker, and they kind of hinted at some Joker stuff in the movie, if you believe some of the theories. But yeah, that's going to be a thing. But the other big thing, I know we talked about it a little bit, virtual reality.
Yeah, VR. Oculus Rift.
Yeah, Oculus Rift shipped. Some of the pre-orders have gotten. There's some parts problems, so some are getting delayed. But Oculus has said they're going to refund or not charge them shipping or something like that. So
I guess it's okay.
That's one good thing. And I guess a lot of people that are like early adopters kind of deal with that anyway. Like
yeah, but still, I mean, the biggest issue was just they weren't communicating effectively
really?
what was going on. So everybody's just like, well, so it's going to come out today, and when am I getting it? And it's a legitimate thing. I mean, it's like if you pre-order it,
yeah,
and
how much was the Oculus?
$600.
$600, yeah.
Yeah,
I would like to have some communication.
Yeah, you'd expect them just to send a little email saying, "Hey, it's taking a little while longer. Please be patient." If they would have done that in the first place, it would have been fine.
Mm-hmm.
They wouldn't have gotten so much shit for it. But since I didn't say nothing, everybody's like, "Well, what the hell?"
Mm-hmm.
I pre-ordered this thing. I said I was going to get it around this date, and it's not here. It's like I'd like to know what the hell's going on.
Mm-hmm. But some people got theirs, and there's been some reviews online. From what I've seen, pretty favorable. I mean,
so far it's been pretty nifty. It looks pretty nifty.
Some saying that they're worried about lasting because it's a Velcro strap, and they're like, how is Velcro going to last after 3 years and stuff like that, which is some...
Well, I bet you can probably replace the strap.
Most likely, yeah. They usually do that. And some saying it's not as comfortable as that, but I've heard other people saying it is comfortable.
Probably depends on your head type, blah, blah, blah. I mean, that's like anything. There's, it's hard to get a one-size-fit-all type deal.
Of course, yeah. And but a bunch of game previews and stuff have been coming out. I saw one where they put a board out in the middle of the room, and you have to save like a cat that's on the edge of a board.
Japanese game or whatever.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, most likely, but
I'm not sure if that was. I can't remember if that was a prank or an actual thing or whatever.
Well, I saw a video. Oh, no.
I can't remember.
Yeah, that's it. Dang it. They tricked
me.
But
it looked. I mean, yes, it was. I think it looked like a legitimate thing that they developed, but rather not. It's an actual, like a feature product, or if it's just just like a tech demo or what. I can't remember what it was, but yeah, I saw the video of it.
But yeah, like the actual, like if it. I mean, I assume if it's not a thing, it should be, or games like that should be, because like if there is an actual board there, like you can actually feel your foot like kind of getting to the edge of it and stuff like that. And if you look around, it actually looks like you're on a board over like a skyscraper or something. Yeah. So that's gonna all play into like the reality of it. But yeah, so.
Because so far what I've noticed is I've noticed a lot of games, like especially in first-person games, they don't really do movement yet. It's been kind of you pick a location and then it kind of just warps you over there.
Yeah, because I mean, and that's the thing with VR, because everyone's room is different. And
well, no. I'm talking like not even like you don't hold it up in an analog stick even. I'm saying like literally like movement is just you point and click.
Which is kind of their answer to.
But motion sickness is because is just sitting there, like if all of a sudden your character's moving and you're not moving, a lot of people are going to start getting motion sickness. So that's kind of what motion sickness is you either see motion and don't feel it, or you feel motion and you don't see it. It's one or the other.
It's your mind being confused, and it's just like...
It's like if I look down at a car and go over a hill, oh man, that hits me hard. I go, oh, geez.
Yeah, well, I know I get that, like, whenever I go like on a dip and something, like you get that...
Like your stomach turns upside down.
Well, that's something different.
But I've never really got motion sickness.
That's something completely different though. That's G-forces and stuff. Or what I'm talking about is literally like sometimes like when I'm driving, like, or if somebody else is driving, I'm looking down, I'm reading something. Like I can't read in a car. It makes me very nauseous. And or I can't. I have to hold it up and stuff like that. Like if I look down,
so you can actually like peripheral see movement or something.
Yeah, because then especially like if I'm looking down, if I'm trying to read like on my phone or something like that, and then we come to like a sudden or like a harder break and stuff like that. Yeah, that really makes me nauseous. Like stuff like that. I mean, it's sudden movements and stuff will definitely.
Yeah, I used to read like on the bus and stuff, and people were like, well, "How can you do that?" I'm like, "I don't know. It's just like I guess I don't get that." And same thing with like like being on boats and stuff. I never really felt seasickness either.
Never really had much motion sickness myself.
Yeah,
I
guess is lucky because that seems very annoying. I mean, I guess it's not that hard to kind of adjust or just not do that.
Well, that's one thing. If they're saying like if we were ever on like a floating island or something like that, like above cloud level, like that, like probably nobody would ever be able to actually be on it because you'd see the clouds moving. Everybody would.
Yeah, it'd be kind
of sense of
disorienting.
balance and stuff would just be completely off because they're like, is this thing moving or not? You're like the clouds are moving, but we're not moving.
Yeah.
Your brain just gets really confused and you just get sick.
Yeah, and
With some very high railings.
or it close it off or something. I don't know. But yeah, so VR. I mean, there's like you said a lot of things, but I think Oculus like does well with the sitting environment too. So that's kind of their
that's
thing.
also part of the reason why they have the control scheme the way they do is because other than an analog stick, I mean, really, there's not too many ways to input data to where you want to move.
Yeah.
Because controlling movement with your head, like the direction you're looking, that'd be a big pain in the ass.
That's especially
constantly having to
because
turn your neck. Yeah, and that's gonna really mess your neck up if you all your aiming and everything.
Yeah,
like I can understand if you're looking around, that's one thing. But like if you're literally controlling everything with your neck,
that's movement. That's rough.
It's too much.
But what was I gonna say? It was like walking around a room. That's another big thing. I think the Vive. Is it HTV? It's Vive, right?
HTC, yeah.
HTCs. They have a thing called like the chaperone thing where it's like a camera in the corner of the room.
Yeah.
That kind of alerts you if you're about to hit something.
That's part of the reason why it costs $800.
Yeah.
Is it comes with the headset, like the remotes, and the little camera that will track your movement and stuff.
Yeah, I'm not too big on the ones where I have to move. Like I never was into like Kinect, like the Xbox Kinect stuff. I never played any of those games either. Because I'm like, I don't want to. I just want to sit on my couch and play video games.
Kinect, there just wasn't ever any like real support for it. I mean, they had a little bit, but they didn't have a whole bunch. So that's why I never got into it. But something like this, where it looks like they're trying to support it and stuff, and it actually looks interesting. Like maybe I might get into this.
Yeah,
it depends on what they do.
Well, you had mentioned a thing, and I saw a video of it, the virtual desktop, where you can get your actual like Windows desktop in VR, and you can play anything you can play on your desktop.
Well, essentially what it's doing is it's just taking your monitor feed and then it's allowing you to expand it, curve it, and that kind of stuff. And, and kind of, and then you interact with your computer like normal, which I think is pretty nifty.
Yeah. And they're saying that you can like change, like you can change like your surroundings. So I saw one that was like in space, and there's one like in the desert and stuff. So
it's kind of like that whole that scene from the movie Gamer where the kid's just sitting on like a pile of pillows or something, and like the room he's in is just one giant computer monitor.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just all
that's just
through your
headset.
Yeah. And yeah,
that's my computer room over there. So you just go in there and just lay around, like stare at the ceiling, and just
a little closet.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and they're saying they're like there was an article, I didn't read through it, but the headline I kind of got the context of. It's like the future of monitors. Like I guess right now they're still needed because going through a whole headset might mess up some of like the gaming response times and stuff like that, possibly. But monitors, I still think.
Well, really, at the end of the day, when I was, I was thinking about after we last talked, it's like really, there's not going to be that. It's going to be about the same input like as a monitor when you think about it. I mean, because it uses the exact same cable to transfer the signal, so it has the same amount of data.
Yeah. If it has to go through a program to get it to the virtual desktop, I don't know. It's possible. I would think there's one or two more steps, but still, even that part.
It depends on if the program has to be connected to the internet or not. That's what's going to determine it. If it has to be connected to the internet, then there could be potential for lag. But if it's just going through just a little piece of software, you're like, no, you can. you can have software that will still allow the same. I mean, video games do it.
That's
and
true.
it still has to, your computer has to talk to the
Video.
game, and then it has to talk to the monitor. So it's really no different at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I mean, and you can have programs that can send that much data. I mean, that's current
true.
stuff. So I mean, really, at the end of the day, there might be a little bit, but I don't think enough to really.
And I bet they make it so it's as good as it can be. Like just any game, like any games will do that. Where like if you're playing a game that really it matters.
Well, because when you look at it, essentially, it's a fancy projector. It's a projector a personal projector that you stick on your head.
Yeah.
Essentially, is what that app is, which I think is really cool because then you can make it you're like, I can play League of Legends on a movie screen, you know, something like that, and you're like, oh man, because really, what would I have to look into it more. I think you said you saw it that you could have dual monitor and stuff like that. Like if you can do that and really customize what's on there, like that would be really nifty. Because I think at that point, like if you can make it so, especially like if you're playing like a game of League of Legends where you can have your mini map in like a second screen, like if you can do that where you can say section off this part of my main screen and put that as a second screen.
Okay.
That would be really nifty because then you just look over real quick and there's your mini map. Big gigantic. You're like, I can't miss stuff now.
Well, yeah. I don't know if it can do that. Like if you can just arbitrarily make a second screen. I don't know. I know like if your computer was set up for dual screens, you can have that. I skimmed through the video and saw that there was dual screens on there. So
because really, I mean, if you're using a program, you can more or less emulate a second screen and stuff like that.
That's
so I
true.
mean, if they allow you to customize what's on those screens, then I'm extremely interested because that's always something I've wanted to do with I have dual monitors on my computer, but really I can't.
Do stuff like that,
I might be able to. I haven't really looked into it enough to do that, but it's one of those of, that's that's always something I've really wanted. Is I've always wanted like my main screen be the game, and then my secondary screen be like like maybe like stats and stuff like that, or
like
a mini map,
big
and stuff
mini
like
map,
that.
and then have like
So then all I do is I look over real quick and I go, oh, okay, I can clearly see everything instead of the little map in the corner where sometimes it's hard to tell what the hell's going on. You're like,
I'm sure there's programs that can do that. I would think that wouldn't be that difficult. Maybe.
Well, the issue is making it so that the resolution's high enough because when you take a screenshot of that then you blow it up to full screen, you're gonna lose some of the resolution.
Oh, yeah, of course. But I don't know. That's and like I said, I'm not too much into games right now. I wish I was, but like that at least is interesting for like the non-gamer in me. Like I can just put anything on my virtual desktop and have that on the headset. But then again, the other day I was watching videos in my room and I wore like my Sennheiser over the ear headphones and I was like, this is annoying. So I'm like, I don't know if I want to put on a whole headset.
Well, I'm totally up for it because then you can just like sit in bed and stuff like that. And like, hey, there we go.
Yeah.
You don't have to sit at a computer desk anymore. You can go wherever the hell you want. I mean, or as long as you have it connected.
Cord wise.
Because what I think would be really awesome is if they have the headset and then they have like a little portable device that can connect Wi-Fi remotely to a computer. That would be friggin' awesome. Yeah. If they made it that way where you can have a wireless headset like that VR headset that connect to your computer.
Well, how does it connect to the computer right now?
Cable.
Is it well, yeah, of course, but is it HDMI?
It's a mixture. USB.
Is there multiple connections to a computer? Is there
just
like one?
4 2 HDMI cables or something weird like that. I mean, that's why you need $1,000 computer to run this stupid thing because it needs a shit ton of USB ports and HDMI. It needs like an HDMI port. I can't remember if it's just 1 or 2.
All going to the headset, or going to like a box and then one cable to the headset.
I think it all goes to the headset.
Ooh, that's kind of annoying. But I guess that generation 1, it's gonna be.
Well, what else? I mean, okay, you can have it go to a single box. No matter what, it's going to be the same amount of cable issue.
Yeah, but if it was just one coming up from the box, that might be a little bit better.
Well, it's one of those, if it comes out at the end and it splits, I think.
It's
not like, oh, hey, here's like 7 cables coming up. No,
okay.
Of course not. No way.
I was like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, let's just make this as complicated and as tangled.
Like you just got some dreads basically coming out of your headset.
There's a USB on this side of the thing and then a HDMI on this side and then like headphones coming out this way.
Oh, if they did that would be stupid.
That's what I was imagining.
I'm pretty sure it comes in.
Ridiculous.
It comes in on one side, I think, and then it's got like one coil, and then it splits.
Splits at the ends. Okay, that's.
And maybe a thick cable, because to fit all those cables in there, maybe a little bit thicker. But
then they can do that. They can do that.
Because I'd have to double check. Because Nobody would want it if they split it up into. You're like, oh hey, you have to connect this to 5 things, but all the cables are one separate cable.
Yeah, no, that's
it
seems ridiculous. But
it makes sense in a in a computer and stuff like that because your cables have to go to different areas and stuff. But I mean, there's certain parts where you can wrap all your cables into one little thing.
And they have games where you can walk around, so that again makes that multiple cables a really weird choice. If I know that's not what they do, that because I've seen videos of people walking around, and I don't remember it being multiple cables. So.
Yeah, because that would be a nightmare.
Yeah,
and then you're like twisty ties all up there.
You have to manufacture your own wire management on your body just to get the wires.
Well, I mean, you kind of have to anyway. I mean, even
I'm
with,
sure,
until they get wireless.
Yeah, so that'll be a big thing.
But the issue is really getting wireless to get that amount of data to get it as quick as it needs to be. Yeah, that'd be right now.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't.
Yeah.
The technology's kind of there, but really for consumer use, not really.
Yeah,
but,
and
private use, yeah, or like company wise and stuff like that.
Hardwire is usually the stable, easier thing to do anyway. So that might happen in the future. And I don't know. I just don't see myself wearing a big old headset like in bed. I don't know. Like sitting down on the couch, that's different, but I don't know. For just leisure time.
I definitely won't be an early adopter of this kind of tech just yet.
Yeah. Oh, well, no,
right
I
now
never
I have
am.
a Sony one on pre-order, and then I'm
you
waiting
do?
to see how. Yeah, I just did because I saw it come up, and I'm like, well, let me just pre-order it. Let me see how the Vive does, because I'm tempted to go with probably the Vive, just because it's one of those of when I was thinking of it, I'm like, I'm gonna get infinitely more use out of it if I can connect it to my desktop than connecting it to my PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
Because Sony says they kind of want to have theirs connect to the PC, but it's not going to be a while. And I'm like, right there, when I thought about it, I'm like, I'd rather have it connected to my PC. I'm guaranteed my PC is going to be able to do way cooler things than the PlayStation.
Just the PlayStation, yeah. And how much is the Vive compared to the Oculus? What's the
800.
Vive? 800, and what's the Oculus?
600.
600.
Because the
There's more
Sony one
components.
is $400 for the headset, and then they had a bundle for $500, which came with that. Because you have to have the headset, you have to have the PlayStation Move controllers, and you have to have the whatever the eye camera, whatever the PlayStation camera, whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah, I don't remember.
You had to have all that, and so they were like, all right, well, we'll give you 2 Move controllers, the camera, and the headset for $500. So I'm like, okay, fine, I'll do it because I mean, I'd have to buy them separately anyway. So I'm like, all right, let me just get the bundle, just pre-order it. And then wait and see if I want to keep it.
When's that expected? Do you know?
Not till like
a
later
while.
this year.
Yeah. All right. Well, if whatever you get.
Well, that's kind of why I did also, because
it.
I'm like, I have lots of time to see if VR is even.
That's true.
Worthy of it, or if I even want to spend that kind of money, and even if I want to buy that, because I'm almost tempted just to stick a couple $100 more and get one of the obviously better headsets, because the Sony one's not going to be as good as the Oculus Rift and the Vive. So.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting to see how the others do, and then because I don't want to quite be an exact super first adopter of it, but I also want to I want to get it early because I'm curious.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I never have been one of those. Like I wait like till like the 4th generation. Like if there's like an Oculus Rift 3 or something like that, I may get the first one.
I'm not gonna wait till that long. I mean, because I bought a PlayStation 4 day one. I mean, literally the day that you could pre-order them. I was like,
yeah.
Because that was the first console that I saw all the press coverage and stuff for it, and B, I actually was like, I can afford this thing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, I can totally afford to spend what was it, $400 when it first came out. I'm like, yeah, I could totally pay $400 for this thing. I was like, sure, why not? Let's gamble on it.
Yeah. And it's.
I got some use out of it. I mean, it's now getting to a point where you're like, okay, now they're finally actually really worth them. Because for a while you're like, well, there's some games. You're like, all right, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I've never been that way. I don't know. I like technology. I don't know why I'm not, but I guess it's just money. I'm just real. What's
stingy?
Yeah. What? Yeah.
Cheap.
I guess stingy. It's cheap.
Frugal.
Frugal.
Because if I can afford it, I'm like, yeah, definitely, hell yeah, I'll buy something new. I'll gamble a little bit if I can afford it.
Because I used to be that way. Like before I had to pay rent and stuff, I used to spend a lot of money on technology, like get stuff that I never use, and like if I didn't use it, I'm just like, whatever. I tried, it didn't work out, but whatever. But now I'm not. Now I'm just like, what I got is good enough. And unless something, pretty much. But yeah. So I don't know, VR. We'll see. tested. They're doing a bunch of VR stuff. One of the guys modded made a pinball thing that like connects to like the pinball game on the Oculus, I guess. Yeah, the Oculus, and it's like a like the first like foot of a pinball machine, so you can actually like hit bumpers and actually play like pinball and actually like be able to look around and stuff.
Yeah.
And actually feel a thing, and made it connect through the computer and stuff like that. So people are already making stuff for these things, and
sure.
So it'd be
kinda,
at the very least it'd be very interesting to see. Let's Play on VR might be a kind of a weird thing.
No, they've already done it.
Yeah, is just with like the 2 screens.
Oh no, actually, you know what? I can't remember. I've seen a couple of videos. I, for the life of me, can't remember if it was 2 screens or just 1 screen.
Yeah, no, tested it up like a game test of everything. Of multiple
I think at
games.
that point you would just show just one of the monitors. I don't
Yeah.
think you would show them both because
Yeah.
it would really, you know, I mean,
Be weird.
unless you specifically wanted to show, hey, this is the difference in what you'd see for each eye.
Or like if you had a VR headset, you'd be able to see it in like the 3D whatever looking way that it has. But yeah, I wouldn't want to watch a Let's Play video or even like a quick video with the 2 screen thing. That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But well, yeah, we'll see. I'm watching it at the very least. It's all interesting because it's new technology, and
Sure.
I'm all about that, even though I don't buy it. But
Well, I definitely think this time it's gonna stick because you know they did the Virtual Boy way back in the day, but
yeah, and that
stupid red and black, like it was just like a horrible
technology
idea
wasn't
all
there
around.
yet. But
Where
now it
nowadays
seems
you're like, yeah, now we have powerful enough computers to make use of it. You know, our technology has been able to get small enough.
Mhm.
I mean, it still looks kind of clunky now. It's definitely going to get significantly smaller.
Yeah,
within
well,
the
and
next
that's
couple of years.
another thing that might get me into it. Like if it's like that's why I was really excited for like Microsoft HoloLens, like even though it's not virtual reality, it's augmented reality. If that,
They've
but
kind of piped down on that. I haven't heard too much.
I think they stopped doing it. They're retooling it. I think that's what they said. But I was really excited about that because that's just like glasses, a little clunkier than just sunglasses or something. But like that seemed much more feasible to me than having to have the whole headset.
Well, think of it. I mean, really, virtual reality, all of this is just, you know, you take your game or whatever, and you just kind of change the way that the camera moves. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Really
That's
not that. I mean, we have the technology already for most of it. It's just how you project it to the player. That's really all it's changing.
What I might do, I might get that Google Cardboard thing because it's a cheap thing and you can just throw your phone in it. So I know it's not as immersive as stuff, but I was playing around just now before we started recording with the YouTube 360 on your phone, where you can actually use the phone to actually control what you're looking at, and I'm like, that's pretty interesting. So, and if I can just throw that in on a headset, at least for cheap, I can get a percentage of that experience. But, and I think the Google Cardboard is like $20 or something like that. So, why not?
For a piece of cardboard.
Yeah, but it's also the lenses. That's the big thing. The lenses
probably cost about 30 cents each.
Yeah,
Cardboard costs about 20.
And they say there's places they tell you what lenses they use or like the sizes you need, so you can buy them elsewhere. But I don't want to go through all that. I'll just buy the kit from Google.
It'll
Probably
take you 10 minutes to put it together.
Whatever. It'll take me 8 minutes to put the kit together, and I don't have to worry about any of the other stuff. I'm real lazy. That's another thing. I don't know.
That's the fun part, doing it. If you could do it yourself, that's always fun.
Well, I mean, they give you a kit. It's not like it's pre-built already. Like you still have to cut out the laser cut cardboard and stuff like that, or whatnot, or die cut. I don't know how it works, but I don't know. That might be at least the first step. I know you were thinking about the gear.
Yeah, the regular Samsung gear, but I'll wait on that too.
Yeah,
sort of trying to keep to my no early adopting phase.
Well, I mean, that's the thing with the Google Cardboard. It's like $20 to jump into. Even like I said, it's just a little bit, but essentially it's a gear. Like there's not much.
I'm also essentially paying for a piece of cardboard.
Yeah, well, you could. I think they give you the plans for free, but the main thing you have to buy is the lenses. So you could get the plans for a Google Cardboard headset, I think, for free. So, but who cares? I don't mind spending $20 on a thing if it is $20. I don't know. I haven't looked at it, but anything else on VR? Anything that came out? I'm trying to think. There's a bunch of game videos.
Yeah,
I know
they've been
Tested
doing
just did
game
another
stuff.
thing in Oculus Rift.
I haven't really been following VR tech all too much. It's not it's not mature enough for me to have gained any interest in it as of yet.
I'm interested in it, but I'm not there yet to buy it. I'm just gonna watch it from afar and see what happens with the next generations, because this is the first generation of like the consumer available things, and it's just gonna keep getting better because 3 companies doing it. There's gonna be competition and stuff like that. So it's not going away. I think the reviews are promising enough for VR to be a thing, and now just companies just gotta figure out a way to utilize it.
Yep.
In different ways.
And they want to. It's not that they're showing that they want to. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, like virtual reality concerts, virtual reality cruises. There's a bunch of novelty things that they're thinking about. So we'll see. Like we've been saying, it's up in the air right now.
Google's got to get on it.
Yeah.
Interface that with Google Maps, and you have something really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Be interesting. But yeah, that's about it. Yeah. Pretty good sized episode. Anything else other than those topics? I can't really think of anything big that I want to talk about.
Well, this is the final episode of Thinking Outside the Pod, isn't it?
Sure.
April Fools, everybody. It's not the final episode.
We're late.
That's okay.
Yeah.
All right, you're fired.
It's the last episode for Jason.
Yeah.
But no, that's
Bye, guys.
That's going to be our episode. Make sure to follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, comment on our posts. We've got some comments on Twitter. People messaging us saying they like the show.
Oh,
so
really?
That's
Sweet.
Yeah, a couple of them. So at least they either
screw you guys.
do you happen to have the names of these people?
They're other podcasts. There's like the I don't want to mess it up. It's like the comedy stuff podcast, and then horribly awkward show, something like that. Sorry if I got those
wrong. Probably just like 3 other guys that are doing it the same way we are.
Yeah. So if you did listen to the show, thank you for saying you liked it, or if you just paid us a compliment just so we would notice you. I don't know. Whatever. Either way, thanks for at least following us on Twitter.
Jeez.
I know.
I just said screw you guys.
I just don't know.
I'm distrusting of people.
I'm real skeptical, I guess. I don't know. I don't trust people easily.
They just want something from us.
What do you want? Like love the show, and I'm like, what?
Give me $20.
Why?
Okay.
Why do you love the show?
Yeah. How dare you?
So what specifically do you like about it?
I don't. Yeah. Tell me the exact.
Tell me more.
Tell me the time codes of the part you liked before I agree that you actually like us and this isn't a scam.
I agree to receive this compliment.
Exactly. But yeah. So Sorry. I thank you for listening. I don't know. I'm sorry. But that's our episode. Every Monday we'll have new episodes. You can find all the episodes on totpod.illogical.com. And illogical.com is where we post episodes as well, the newer ones. So
links will be on Facebook and Twitter.
Yeah, Facebook, Twitter. YouTube's slowing down right now, or stopped.
Non-existent.
Yeah, it's up to episode 55 is up there. So we are 55. That's exactly half of our video. We have half of our shows on video.
Yeah, we just kind of were like, just kind of gave up on it.
Yeah, it's mainly the audio podcast version is what we're interested in, but yeah, so maybe videos in the future, maybe, who knows, if time becomes more available. I don't know, but that's it. You can at TotPod, or I guess personal. You don't have a Twitter yet, do you? Or
I unless I absolutely have to, I don't plan to get one, because I'm like, I don't want to babysit that.
At TotPod is the show's Twitter. At the Jimmy Hughes is my Twitter.
At Jace_PV is my Twitter.
JACE_PV.
Yes, sir.
Yep. So yeah, follow us. Why not? It's really just posts of this
so
about the top
stalking.
of the podcast. But that's it. We will be back next week.
Bye.